What's up, y'all? Welcome back to your full body workouts. I love a barbell landmine. It's one piece of equipment that you can add weight to, change angles, and get multiple muscle groups out of. So we get into this full body work, starting off with a quick warm up, going into our arm circles to get those shoulders nice and warm. Keep the rib cage tucked under, let the shoulders open up in either direction. Going for this about 20 to 30 seconds. And don't forget, we also want to work on stretching the chest. So going into that cross body stretch, arms across the body, open up, keep that rib cage tucked under. We're going to go into an inchworm after this, walking out into a plank position. Always remember, we want to make sure that we're squeezing our glutes as we get out to that plank, sending one leg up for that hip flexor stretch, and then T-spine rotation. Walk the leg outside the hand, make sure the heel lands. You know, this is one of my favorite full body warm-ups because it gets everything, gets you moving in multiple directions, and just allows you to really open up those hips. Don't forget to start your watch. Listen, I want to keep the time correct today. So 20, 30 seconds in this alternating hip flexor and T-spine rotation. So we'll get a couple more good reps here. Like I always say, this is always a great time to set your intention for your workout. What do you want to get out of this movement? Be proud of the fact that you're showing up. For me, sometimes that is the hardest part, but it feels so good once we get into it and once we're done. Last rep right here. Beautiful. We're going to take it down into our child's pose. So we're walking the fingertips forward as much as we can, pushing the chest to the ground, and then we're going to walk those hands side to side. Again, somewhere around 20 to 30 seconds, so probably around 6 to 8 reps, 10 if you're moving quick. This is a great stretch for those lats, that lower back. Also a great booster to challenge yourself to breathe a little bit deeper. One last good rep here. And here we go. We're going to go into that down dog, push back, heels to the floor, chin to chest. That forward fold, we're dropping down into a nice little squat and bootstrap. So try to keep those hands on your feet, on your toe box. Come down with a nice straight spine. Chin to chest, chest to sky. Roll the shoulders back and down. Really allow those knees to drive out. Sometimes you may need a little bit of a wider stance in the beginning of this stretch, and that's okay. All right, we're ready for that action. Getting into exercise number 1 with our landmine. Going to be a staggered stance deadlift. All right, this is a hinge motion. We're going to take same arm, same leg, drop the foot back, and match up the back toe with the front heel. Now we get a slight bend to both knees, a nice straight back, and we're sending our hips back nice and far. Feel the stretch through the back side of the legs. So we don't want to think about bending up and down. We want to think about going back and forth. Advanced movement is a single leg deadlift, but we do want to make sure that we're feeling the back side of those legs primarily. If you get a little bit of lower back, don't fret. You can always just take some of that depth away. So we're going around 8 to 10 reps on each side. We got strength numbers today with an appropriate amount of rest for each. Keep that back heel off the ground and think about pushing forward through the ball of your foot as you come back to that standing position. Now we switch our sides, and when we do so, we think about putting a little bit more emphasis on the front leg on that opposite side. Yes, the back leg is working, but we should feel the center of the back side of our front leg. Don't forget to keep that spine nice and straight. Neck is neutral, and we're breathing here. Great first set. Okay, a little bit of rest here, 30, 45 seconds. If you're going really heavy, of course, taking a longer rest. But now we're going to get into a split stance low row. All right, this row, we're going to really anchor into our front leg. Again, stepping that back leg at a distance that really allows us to get our chest parallel to the ground. we are pulling that weight toward the hip. The elbow doesn't need to go super high. We're gonna feel the middle of the back. Also, the core is engaged so that that back hip is hovering over the ground. We hit one side, so of course we hit the other. Let's really think about getting nice and low. Drop that back leg. Keep that chest up and proud. And making sure that core is engaged. And really squeezing that middle back. Bring the elbow a little bit wider, then you will get a little bit more of the back of your shoulder. That is what I love about the landmine. You can change that angle from the anchor point and get to different parts of your muscle group that you're targeting, which here is going to be full body, but we're taking a little bit of that burn from our deadlifts and also extending it to that other body. Here we go, getting into our next set. I'm going to add a little bit of weight. You are welcome to keep the same recovery time, keep the same weight. But as I go up, I'm going to also try to hold myself accountable to keep the same recovery time. Here we go, set 2. As always, you should feel a little bit more familiar with the movement. So maybe we feel like we can get more of a hinge. Maybe we're going a little heavier, moving a little bit quicker. Pick your poison. With strength workouts, I like to add more time and retention, just a slower descent through the movement. But as long as you're staying consistent with how you choose to challenge yourself, it's a great way to see results. I'll give you guys a couple of different angles to see this deadlift. Just remember to keep the spine nice and straight, pay attention behind the legs. Here we go, hit that 8 to 10 reps on the opposite side. So notice how both my hips are still facing forward, and I'm keeping that back heel off the ground. I also keep the working arm, that shoulder drawn back. So not just working the backside of the legs, but also working the upper and middle back. Oh yeah, the nervous system is working. Here we go, let's get into that split stance low row. 8 to 10 reps again with a little bit more weight for me this time. Dropping it down, anchoring that arm, hovering the hip, and off we go. Cranking a little bit more pace here, but you take the time as you need to go through those reps thoroughly. From a front view, you can see that that shoulder is still hovering over the ground. I'm doing my best not to open the shoulder up or rotate through my torso. That anti-rotation is really working my core. Woo! Let's hit that other side. Here we go, 8 to 10. The legs are definitely starting to feel it at this point. As you feel the muscles start to fatigue, that's where you gotta dig a little deeper and make sure you're bracing, protecting your joints. Killing it for these last couple reps. Remember, if you need a longer recovery, you can always pause the video. But get those last few in and maybe take a little longer recovery before we get into exercise number 3. We've got the landmine thruster. We're gonna be facing our anchor point. That weight is racked at our chest at a slight angle. Feet maybe need to be a little bit wider for this one, but we're gonna squat down, keep the core braced, squeeze the glutes, and then thrust that weight overhead. This is our vertical push, and it's really all about power. So inhale on the way down, exhale, and punch. And then we're gonna think about also keeping that tailbone tucked, keeping the abs drawn in, and really giving deep breath to that release. We've got 8 to 10 here. This is where we can really feel that heart rate start to climb. And of course, if you're moving faster, that heart rate's gonna climb a little higher. So, you know what to do. Take that recovery. All right, next up, exercise number 4 is where it gets really spicy. We've got our landmine rotation. So extend the arms in front of you. Shoulders are relaxed. We're rotating from hip to hip. Just a slight bend to the elbow. If it gets a little deeper, that's okay. But we do want to make sure that we're bracing through the midsection. This right here is a killer for an upper body workout. And the heavier it gets, the more you can incorporate those legs. Again, we've got 8 to 10 reps. Really brace. Keep everything nice and tight. Honestly, this one makes me sore for days, no matter what I do. Woo! All right, we do it all one more time. We got this. Let's start it up. New angle for you here on that landmine thruster. Sit deep into the squat. Inhale, exhale, drive. Let's punch it out 8 to 10 reps here. It's beautiful the things that we can overcome just by showing up. I did not think I was going to be adding weight to this workout, but here we are. I feel super empowered. Woo, finish it strong. So good. One final recovery, one final landmine movement. Always remember, you're looking for more volume. You can do more than 2 sets. This is just a great way to do around 10 to 15 minutes of movement. Here we go. Last go round on our rotation. So arms go up, going hip to hip. Really pressing that elbow in tight to the body. Making sure that we're giving a little bit through the hip. It's okay if the hip turns slightly. The more that you turn it though, the more of a leg exercise it becomes. Nothing wrong with that. Finishing those final 8 to 10 reps here. We're gonna dig deep, get it done, breathe it out. Woo! All right, cool down time. Breathe deeply through the cool down. Let the heart rate come down into recovery. We're going to take that right arm and get into that tricep stretch. So chin off your chest, tuck the tailbone, keep the rib cage tucked. Even though it's a cool down stretch, we still find ourselves the path of most resistance when it comes to stretching those muscles. We're going to take that arm and flip it down and around, taking our neck stretch by just gently pulling our head over to the opposite side. I find that this is one of the more neglected stretches when it comes to our rotator cuff. So take your time as you're entering and getting out of that inward rotation. We're going tricep on the opposite side. Again, these stretches like 20-30 seconds. Take a few breaths, usually 3 to 5 breaths in each posture. Works really well. And then we'll rotate back around, slightly and gently pulling your head off to the opposite side. Keep that same side shoulder nice and low. And the chest proud, of course. Release gently. We're going to stretch the wrists. So palm is going to face out away from us, shoulder down from our ears, pulling down on those fingertips. A nice relaxed pull, and then flip the palm. It's a great stretch for the top of the forearms. One, I feel like, of the most neglected muscle groups that really needs it, especially if we use a mouse, a keyboard, or we're constantly on our phones. Final stretch for the top of that forearm. And then we take it into that split stance for our hip stretch. Now think about tucking your tailbone, bending into that bent knee, and then leaning off to the opposite side. Really get a good stretch all the way through your obliques, your lat, and that hip flexor. Shorten the stance a bit, and then we're going to take that hinge forward for our hamstrings and calves, and that lower back. Your stance can be as wide or narrow as feels comfortable for you. And then we'll take it through the center, turn the toes, stretching both hamstrings. And then to the opposite side. As we're bowing down, it's just a great posture to take the opportunity to pay yourself the compliment that you deserve. It's simple to show up, but it's not always easy. So give yourself credit. And the more that you check off with positivity, the more entertaining and fun it can be when you show up. Take that final hip flexor stretch, squeeze the glute on that extended leg. One final reach, and big stretch up. Done. Great job, y'all. I'll see you next time.